When Susan Boyle walked onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent in 2009, no one could have imagined how that moment would change her life and the music world forever. With her simple dress, nervous smile, and unassuming manner, the audience snickered before she even opened her mouth. But the second she began singing I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables, everything changed. In just a few notes, Susan Boyle went from a small-town woman to a global sensation. Yet behind that miraculous rise was a story of pain, loneliness, and a struggle that would test her in ways the world never saw. Born in the small Scottish town of Blackburn, Susan Boyle grew up in a modest home with her parents and 8 siblings. From an early age, she faced challenges most people couldn't imagine. Complications during birth deprived her brain of oxygen, leading to mild learning difficulties. As a child, she was often bullied and called cruel names by classmates who couldn't see past her differences. They said I'd never amount to anything, Susan once shared, but I always believed God gave me a voice for a reason. For years, she lived a quiet, simple life, singing at church, caring for her elderly mother, and dreaming of one chance to prove herself. That chance came when she auditioned for Britain's Got Talent at 47 years old. The world expected her to fail, but within seconds, her voice silenced the laughter and moved millions to tears. Overnight, Susan Boyle became a symbol of hope, a reminder that talent knows no boundaries and that dreams don't expire with age. Her debut album, I Dreamed a Dream, broke records, selling millions of copies around the world. She was suddenly famous, performing on global stages, meeting celebrities, and even singing for the Pope. But the sudden fame also brought enormous pressure. Susan had spent most of her life in quiet isolation, and the overwhelming spotlight took a toll on her mental health. It was like being hit by a tornado, she admitted. Everything I knew disappeared overnight. In the years that followed, Susan Boyle faced several struggles. She was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism that helped her finally understand why social interactions had always been difficult. It wasn't an excuse, she said. It was an answer. She also suffered panic attacks and exhaustion, leading her to retreat from the public eye for a time. But even during those difficult years, her fans never forgot her. They reminded me that I wasn't alone, she said. That meant more than fame ever could. In recent years, Susan has found peace in a simpler life. She still lives in her childhood home, the same small house where she grew up, in the same quiet town in Scotland. She bought the home after her success, refusing to move into a mansion. This is where I feel safe, she said, where my mother's memory still lives. She's learned to balance her love for music with her need for privacy. Fame is nice, she smiled, but peace of mind is priceless. And though she doesn't release albums as frequently as before, Susan Boyle continues to sing, not for fame or applause, but for the sheer love of it. Her voice, now mature and soulful, carries the wisdom of everything she's been through. I've had my highs and lows, she said in a recent interview, but I'm still here, and I'm still singing. Her journey remains one of the most powerful reminders in entertainment history, that true talent doesn't need perfection, and that sometimes the most extraordinary people come from the most ordinary places. So, yes, something did happen to Susan Boyle. She found peace. She found purpose. And after all these years, she finally found herself.